Well, good, because we're live. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of everything that you've ever wanted in a podcast, everything that you ever needed in a podcast, the greatest podcast besides Joe Rogan, besides about 1,700,000 other ones. We are the Empty Slate.
Welcome.
I interrupted him.
You did.
I'm on fire today, boys.
Literally and figuratively?
Well, not literally. Literally?
Literally?
No, not literally. Figuratively, I am
yeah, I figured
I'm dried
was
off.
Pretty fired up.
I'm dried off.
Oh shit. You dried off.
Yeah, so right out of the gate, we can talk about it. I don't care. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight will be a fun one because not only do you have the Empty Slate, but you also have Stars Hockey in my background. So you're going to get ADD wrestle all over the place. But to start off the show, me and Chris were texting. He said, hey, let's go live at 7:30. And I said, okay, let's do it. I said, just mowed in the fucking rain. Oh, man. Oops. I just mowed in the freaking rain. Can we bleep that? Do we have a bleep button yet?
No.
We're not that
popular. We're not that popular.
I mowed in the rain. Actually, when I started, so I had a prior, had to work, and then I had an appointment afterwards. And when I got out of the appointment, it was 4:30. The sky was starting to get dark. And I was at a red light, so I looked at the radar, and the radar said about 550. I was like, okay. Normally, it takes me about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how thick the yard is, if I want to go slow over some of the real hot spots. So I was like, I got this. Boy, I got somewhere between, I'd say somewhere between half and 3/4 of the way done. And I felt my first sprinkle. And I was like, okay, it's just one drop. Felt another drop. I got this. Kick it up into rabbit mode. Push the zero turn forward. Let's go. Boom. And Chris, you've been to my house. You know that my yard is not the evenest. That's a word.
Most even.
Most even. As Wyatt Johnson hits him with smelling salt. I've always wanted to try one of those just once.
I believe I have.
Man, if it wasn't 10 minutes later, the bottom fell out. And I just said, screw it. Hammer down, just keep going. Wet grass and all, just keep moving. I mean,
might as well. You're already out there in it.
Yeah, once you started, you're not gonna, you don't want to stop. Like, you're not going to waste the time. You're not going to waste the gas. We've got weekend plans, so won't have any time to do it tomorrow. And so just finished up, and I was and truth be told, it only rained for about 15 minutes. Off and on too, to be honest. It would rain real good for a minute and then stop. Rain real good for a minute and stop.
It was weird.
Boy, my whole front side was soaked. I mean, I looked like I just fell face down in a puddle of water and just kept walking. And so when I got done, I just said, you know what? I'm going to just go open the garage doors. The breeze was blowing. Crack a beer. Root beer. Okay, anybody just no crack a beer and dry off. Luckily, I dried off. I didn't get to weed eat, but my fence line's not too bad. There are spots that I wouldn't mind hitting tomorrow, but I won't have time, obviously. But boy, was I fired up earlier. On top of being sunburned from this past weekend, and I sent Chris a picture of my shoulder and my arm, and he was like, damn, did you burst into flames? And I was like, damn near.
Yeah,
And
it looked like you just escaped the 7 gates of hell.
yeah, well, and you know, I mean, and anybody that may listen to this, in Texas, those early spring days, because we can call it spring because we've had a spring.
Yeah, it's been very
Sometimes,
springy.
sometimes it's very hit and miss uh, on you know how hot it can be. And this past weekend, it was warm. Um, and
It's pushing 90, 92, wasn't it?
yeah, oh, and so Jessica's was double. Sounded funny. I'm trying to share our show to our Facebook because nobody's watching. It's just me and you bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
Brian hasn't chimed in yet, which we welcome Brian with open arms.
Yeah, I sent him a message earlier.
Where is my share button? So what's been going on with you this week? You have a child graduating high school.
I do.
Tell me your feelings.
I'm up there in them. To be honest with you, I can't believe that 18 years is gone so fast, and it's just 21 years since we walked across the stage at the same exact spot where she's going to tomorrow night. And that's it either tells you it's something special or how stupid I was when I was younger. One or the other.
We were both stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about it. I didn't get to walk. In my senior year, Russell didn't like going to school. And Russell didn't like doing his work. And so Russell had to go to summer school. So I didn't get to walk. But I got to be there with you and another friend of ours. Your mother has a great picture of both of us, all three of us at at her house, which I would kill for a copy of that one day. It's always funny to me because I did miss that opportunity to walk, and it still stings every once in a while. But when it boils down to it, I got the diploma. I graduated high school. It just took me a little longer than it took other people. And truth be told, I wasn't the only senior in there, and there were some other ones that had circumstances that they couldn't walk either. So, you know, it is what it is. But you know what? I still got that piece of paper that matters, and that's really all that matters.
I don't even know where mine is.
Mine, I think, is in our safe here at the house, or it's at my mom's in her safe.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you where mine is.
Look, bro, we ain't doing this in and out.
You know, I wrote her a letter today, put in her graduation card. It's got, something special for, a dad to tell his daughter and all that kind of stuff. But it's just so surreal that it's already here. We think about it and we talk about it. Oh, yeah, she's going to be class of 2024. That was in 2006, and 2024 is here. And she's going to walk across that stage and be done with high school at least. But I can't force her to do anything else. Like it's her time now, and that's what's scary as a dad, is that every decision is hers now, 100%. We have some input, of course, but ultimately it's all on her now. And it's scary. It's scary to let go of that. You froze really bad.
No, I was writing.
Oh, What are you writing?
I'm actually putting this on Twitter for the first time.
Oh, I didn't know we had a Twitter account.
We don't. I'm putting it on my personal Twitter.
Oh, with your 10 followers.
Actually, bitch, because we're 15 minutes in, I can say bitch.
10. Oh, your clock is fast. I don't know why.
10, whatever. I have 384 followers, bitch.
Oh.
Now, half of those are probably porn bots or.
Yeah, that's like I have 1,500 followers. Mine are all porn bots.
Actually, I have a lot of people that follow me that are wrestling people. And then I have a lot of. Actually, what's surprising me is I have quite a few people that follow me that I didn't expect would follow me. Like, there's a few radio people that I follow, and I guess they just follow people back that they think have mediocre sports opinions, which I think I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of them are bots, obviously. But it's it's
so
funny.
That's what I'm dealing with. You say you were fired up from work. What would you like to elaborate?
No, not anymore.
There he is. What's up, buddy? We were wondering if you're going to show or not. So what's up with you? Like, what else? What do you got going on this weekend?
Well, it is Memorial Day weekend.
That's right. We honor the fallen.
And my lovely wife's side of the family, they have every year they have you can call it a semi-family reunion. We get together at Lake Fork out in Tyler, or out a little by Tyler, and just hang out, drink, eat. Some people will go out to the lake and go fishing. There's a couple of us that pretty much every year, the older some of them get, which is always fun for me. The older some of them get, that we have things in common. Me and one of the nephews we will be sports watching. So tomorrow night the Mavs will play. Saturday the Stars will play. And so we will be glued to the TVs. And then Sunday we have all the racing, which is right up our alley. I'm the only one that does the racing, but we right now tentatively, Jessica and I are planning on coming back Sunday. We have a couple things that we had been invited to on Monday, and then my brother just reached out to me about a little shrimp and crawfish bowl that he's doing Sunday. So spend some time with, basically this weekend, spend time with family.
That's good. I mean, it's the unofficial start to summer. So
drink, eat, drink, sleep, repeat.
Gotcha.
Relax.
I will probably be on a train Sunday, so I will not be able to watch the greatest day in motorsports.
It literally is one of the best days of the year.
Yeah. You got Monaco, Indy 500, and the Coke 600.
I'm this tempted to take my Fire Stick and plug it into one of the TVs up there so I can watch the F1, because the place has cable, but I don't know. Every year the cable kind of changes, so real tempted to take the Fire Stick this year.
I'm sure they have ESPN. Everybody has ESPN.
Just so I can get up and watch Monaco.
Yeah.
Because that's always a fun one to watch. And I think I have more fun watching Monaco just in the pre-race, just to see the rich, snobby celebrities that are there.
Right. They have no clue about what's going on.
And have not. Well, some of them do. Some of them do.
The vast majority don't.
There are some. That's exactly how your face froze.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're on the power play. Let's go, boy. But what's great about Monaco too, though, is you do get to see some of the rich and bougie out of their element, especially the ones that they do interview that may know something about racing. And it's kind of fun to see that. I, for one, was not aware. Thank you for coming in.
Dude, you can get them cats some ADD medicine.
Oh, I have two, so it alternates. Like this one that just came in, he was perched in his chair, and then he decided that he was going to be perched in his chair. But I, for one, was not aware of how big of a racing fan that Donald Trump was.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in Charlotte for the 600.
And he was just at the F1 race in Miami. So, and this isn't the first race that he's been to. This isn't the first NASCAR.
He went to the Daytona 500 when he was president, I believe.
Yeah. So, call it what you want. Call it maybe getting to your audience, but hey, I mean, the man likes his sporting events.
So, okay, question. With him possibly flying into Charlotte, well, he's not on Air Force One anymore.
No, he's in Trump Force One.
So yeah, I don't guess they'd have to shut down all the airports and all that stuff like they do Biden.
Well, he is still a former president, so he will get part of that presidential treatment, but like they'll have like a select airport that he'll probably fly into.
Okay, well, with all air traffic stopping for a moment, how will that affect Larson flying in from Indy?
I don't think it will.
Flying in from Indy?
If you think both of them are going to fly in at the same time, you've got another thing coming. Trump will probably be.
Sorry, I don't understand.
She doesn't understand. What don't you understand, Siri?
Let's Google Home.
Oh, hey Google. Oh, it's in your ear. Never mind.
It's in my ear, dummy.
I'm just yelling in your ear.
Oh shit.
But I guess, I mean, if you think that they're coming at the same time, I don't expect that at all. I feel like Trump will probably be there early.
Maybe.
And truth be told, does he fly into where's this? This is Daytona.
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Sorry. So where does he fly into?
Charlotte.
I bet he doesn't fly into Charlotte. I bet he flies in somewhere else and drives in.
The only other place would be Raleigh.
Okay, so he flies into Raleigh.
And take a 2-hour drive to Charlotte?
Maybe he's got a campaign up there this weekend, so he drives in. Stop messing with this man's travel plans.
I'm sorry, I'm acting like Travago over here.
Maybe he does. I mean, the man can't get out of the Bronx, but on the weekends, because he's got so many court cases that are just baked.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
But I did laugh my ass off this morning because AOC said something about the Bronx, and he can't get out of the Bronx, and
he's broke campaign, and he's got
that he can't campaign. And then so Trump was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold a freaking rally in the Bronx. And he held a rally in the Bronx that didn't start until like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
And people were lining up at fucking like 5 a.m. this morning.
I saw that on Fox.
Yeah. Like they were there early as shit. And I'm like, AOC, it's time to go back to bartending, you dumbass.
Yeah, definitely. It's no secret who we're voting for, but he's the best of the worst, I guess.
Well, I think I had this conversation with somebody at work the other day, and look, I'll be the first Republican to admit one thing. I don't agree with everything he says. There are some things that he says that are just talking out his ass. And there are things that he says that he wants to do that I agree with. there's not anything besides the healthcare thing on the Democratic side that I agree with. Because I
don't
wish
even agree with
everybody.
that.
Well, I mean, I just wish healthcare was cheaper. Coming from someone who takes 3 medications, one for indigestion, one to sleep, and one for anxiety, without insurance, my prescriptions would cost me almost $350.
That's not right. But at the same time, healthcare costs were cheaper before Obama, before the Affordable Health Care Act.
Yeah,
When
I
he
agree.
forced everybody to get health insurance, what happened? It's simple supply and demand. Insurance companies jacked the rates up, and everything else went up too. So there's that. Now, if we could have some kind of social health care, kind of like what Canada has,
Fuck Canada.
I would be okay with something like that.
Only reason I say that is because the Stars are playing a team from Canada.
Yeah. Oh, Canada.
And this is the official end of this podcast. My co-host just sang the Canadian anthem. When you've got a dictator dumbass like Trudeau,
Right. No.
Okay, in all fairness, I'm almost going to bet 90% of Canadians hate Trudeau.
I'm sure. They're just too nice to say it.
Yeah. So I'm on full screen, so I can't see the chat. Is Brian kind of chiming in?
Yeah, he said, here, I'll put it up here.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I was, again, making it is. I agree.
Yeah.
I will laugh so hard if Trump shows up to 303, but not for Colby's next fight. That is one thing that I will agree with Brian on is Trump is a big MMA fan.
Yeah, I've seen him at
He's
Vegas.
been to multiple fights. A lot of the Florida fights he goes to, and there's a couple of them. I don't know why I said that. A couple of those.
Couple of them there fights.
Couple of them there Vegas fights. He goes out there to them pretty lights over there in Nevada.
Not in Nevada.
Over in Nevada.
So what do you think about the jury unsequestered and being able to roam freely over the weekend for the next 8 days, really, until they reconvene?
This is a political trial. There's not anything in the there's nothing on this planet that's going to change my mind on that. This is a political trial to keep Trump off of the campaign trail, to keep him locked up in a court, to keep him with gag orders and BS like that. This trial is going to come down to basically people chiming in saying, well, I mean, he did this, but it was because I did this and we did this.
Right.
Like they called Michael Cohen to the stand, and all it did was make Michael Cohen look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that there's a possibility that this judge might wise up and just call it mistrial?
No, not at all. I don't think. Well, I mean, they petitioned for that. Do I think that happens? No. What I do think happens is if it does go to a jury, I think he's found innocent. I was looking at the word. I was looking at a word on my screen, and
he was wanting Guinness.
I think he's innocent of pretty much everything that they're trying to try him for.
Guinness is where you're really wanting a Guinness.
I'm not a big fan of Guinness.
It's all right.
Okay, I'll drink a Guinness if it's with an Irish Cardinal.
We could add some of those at 54th this week. We should have went. We should have went. We should have gone.
Yeah. Yeah, we could get our crew together.
Yeah. Certain somebody.
A certain crew.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm a bad man.
what song is that?
It's a movie.
There's a song that
60
starts out
seconds.
like that. There's a song that starts out like that too. It's a country. There's something else I was going to tell you and I forgot.
Hmm.
Sorry, I got super distracted. I'm so sorry. Okay, so truth be told, guys, I'm not just a Neanderthal scratching my back. I got sunburned this past Sunday at my brother-in-law's house by the pool. I was a moron and did not put on sunscreen.
I thought it was when you were mowing.
No, I went by the pool. My brother-in-law invited Jessica and I over, and truth be told, my wife is the queen of taking care of me because she knows that I'm a big old titty baby when it comes to sunburns. Um, and we both just didn't even think about sunscreen.
And then
She
we had
handles.
kids. That was funny.
Uh,
I just remember something from when we were younger.
oh, um, and truth be told, my wife is has Italian blood in her, so she burns for about a day, and then
You
it turns like a brown color, and she never peels. Like I think I've seen her peel once or twice in our almost 10 years together, and it's quite entertaining because me, if I don't do like the aloe vera lotion and all that kind of stuff, no, I'm gonna look like a snake losing its skin over here. We're able to pull off sheaths of skin. Boom.
So one time at band camp, no, this one time, me and a friend of ours, the guy that just passed away not too long ago, and April and kids, we all went floating down the river in Glenrose. It was kind of cloudy out. I was like, I don't really need sunscreen. I'm good. I should have went to the hospital. I had third degree sunburn. It was so bad. We got in the pool later on the evening. We go back to his house, go get in his pool, and it was so cold I couldn't even stay in there. And then I had water blisters all over me the next day or two, maybe later. I
Really?
had to shave everything, like my chest and everything. I had to shave it because like the shirt pulling on the hair hurt so bad.
You know, I've never had a sunburn that bad where it blistered up.
This is
I've
my
I,
only one.
I've seen a lot. Like years ago, I ran into a friend of mine that when I went down to float the river, and I ran into a friend of mine in passing at a gas station, a Bucky's, whatever, and he had on flip flops, but he had bandages on like the tops of his feet, like his toes were exposed, but like he had bandages on both his feet, and I said, "Damn, dude!" I said, "What'd you do to your feet?" And he said, "Oh, I went and floated the river." And I said, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, I didn't put any sunscreen and I didn't wear shoes, and I had my feet in the water pretty much the whole day, and the sun just magnified through the clear water of the river, and just like he got like fourth degree burns or something, and he said he had to go to the hospital because like he blistered up and there was pus and everything." And I'm like, and
Yeah.
so I think that was like my second or third time to ever float the river. So like when I got there with the people that I went, I was like, I gotta go to Walmart. I'm getting some like SPF 1000 to put on my feet because I didn't want my feet to burn. But come to find out, I'm like, my feet are soft. I can't walk on these rocks. So I pretty much I had basically had river shoes because I was I was coming off of a year before where we were religiously going to Lake Whitney and jumping off the cliffs. And well, some people could, but I wasn't climbing those cliffs with no shoes. So I had lake and river shoes. So I had a pair of like old Nikes that I was just like putting on when I went to the lake or to the river to go either jump off the cliffs or go to the river. So when I had to walk, I was just like, yeah, get up, take off. And if I knew that there was like a long stretch, I'd take them off. And you get a pair of good shoes that you can just slide back on. So they were pretty much worn out.
Right.
It's the best stuff called sun care. Little redhead girl spoiled me for life with that when I get sunburned. Yeah, and us bald fellas, Brian, you have a little bit of hair up there, but us bald fellas, we got to take care of the top of that head for sure.
That's where I'm having trouble with what I want to take to Disney World next month.
Like a hat or just sunscreen?
Yeah, well, a hat. I know we're going to take sunscreen, but I always wear a ball cap, but I'm looking for something for the back of my neck so it doesn't turn as red as your headband there.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, should I get one of those Panama Jack hats or safari hat or what? I'm trying to figure that one out still. Like, I don't
Get
know.
you one of those nice, cool dad fishing hats. A little floppy.
Yeah, like a bucket
Columbia
hat or something.
Yeah, like a bucket Columbia hat. I have one that I got years ago from Uline that I'll mow in the summertime, and I'll just put it on.
I got a high-vis one from the railroad.
And if you want to be seen at all times, hey, there you go. I mean, your kids wouldn't lose you.
No, I'd stick out. That's for sure.
They'd be like, "Hey, where's Dad? There he is. You see the top of that hat over there?"
Oh God, you're wearing it again.
Yeah. You could be like, "Well, at least I'm not wearing my safety vest."
Well, hell, they'll probably try to put me to work. Oh, this way, sir.
Oh, are you looking for the employment center? It's over here.
Yeah. You're new, right?
Sir, parking lot attendants aren't allowed over here. Because that's where they put most of the high-vis people anyway. Oh, we're going to put you in a parking lot. You can be seen with that thing on.
Right.
We, at Holt, where I used to work, we used to have, which I don't know why we had them, but our yard shirts were gray, but then they had the high-vis stripes on them. And I was like, God, they weren't like super thick, but they were just thick enough. But man, them spots where the high-vis tape was that stitched into there, good Lord, nothing was getting through there. You couldn't get a bullet through some of those, I don't think.
No, they're hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I always like those kind of shirts, though. It's one less thing, especially if the company pays for them. It's one less thing I have to buy.
Right. No, I do always appreciate the free shirt, especially the free work shirt that if it gets torn up, I can get another one.
Right. A guy at work was like, "Man, you sure do look like this company. You're wearing a hat and a shirt." I was like, "It's clothes I don't have to pay for. That's why." Oh, I guess that makes sense. Well, yeah.
And now the Empty Slate rewind. Get out of the car and push. Brian, how are you feeling about you can chime in on the comments, give us your thoughts on the end of the school year. How's that make you feel?
And Miss Morgan, I guess I can put her name out here, graduating high school. We just talked about that before you chimed in. I don't know if you caught that or not. It's kind of surreal for me. I'm kind of sad and happy. I hope she does something with her life instead of be 19 and get pregnant like her mama.
Brian said, "Thank God."
Yeah, for what? The school year being over or Morgan graduating?
Yeah, probably the school year being over.
Oh.
I think that's 99.9% of the teachers at the end of the year is thank God.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think the Stars are about to go back on the power play.
You think they have a legitimate shot at going to the finals?
I think I called Stars in 6. I did say Mavs in 7, but they ended it in 6. I do personally think Stars in 6 in this series as well. And to be 100% honest with you, I think Mavs in 7.
That's good,
again.
Brian.
I think
I didn't have to go to Roadhouse. I didn't have to go Roadhouse on.
scissor kick somebody in the head. I don't see either one of these series for Dallas, the Mavs or the Stars being easy. If I'm looking at both teams, truth be told, Stars have hell winning game ones. They didn't do it in Vegas. They didn't do it in Colorado. This series, they get to start at home. Actually, never mind. I take that back because I think they started the Las Vegas series at home. So yeah, they have hell winning at home on their first game. Game ones are normally pretty hard for the Stars. The Mavs came back last night and surprised the hell out of me because at one point they were down by like 13, and I was like, this could get ugly. But then Mavs turned it into a track meet and pretty much hung in there with them the whole time. I think Charles Barkley said some key things about, the Mavs not having a lot of big guys in height, but they have a lot of guys. They have a lot of guys that are quick. So that's going to be one thing for Minnesota to have to deal with. So that to me is one of those things that I think could be a hiccup for Minnesota. You're grinning. What happened?
My sister sent me a meme.
Well, that's cute. Truth be told, we have 4 people in our YouTube channel right now watching. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for tuning in and just say hi. Maybe that's what happens when you put it on Twitter.
Maybe.
But
Might be
yeah,
porn bots.
it could be the porn bots. Hey, put your OnlyFans out there. We'll share it.
Some only dads.
But no, I mean, and man, right now, Oscar, what's up, man? Oscar is I've never met Oscar. We follow each other on Twitter, and he likes a lot of my stuff, and I like a lot of his. We all share some common opinions on our current administration, and we all we like a lot of the same things. So appreciate you tuning in, Oscar. I really do. But I mean, look, we're going into the first intermission 0-0 right now. It's not going to be an easy game for the Stars. Edmonton didn't make it to the Western Conference Finals for no reason. And same thing for Timberwolves. Minnesota was ranked higher than the Mavs in the finals. So it's both series are going to be fun. I'm really happy to see both teams make the Western Conference Finals. I think that's to me that's kick ass. Kind of riding the train of championships around here with the Rangers just winning, and now you got both your hockey and your basketball team, a series away from making it to the championship. So
with that, what do the Cowboys have to do?
They have to just shut the fuck up and lose this season and get a number 1 draft pick and draft a quarterback.
Will that really save them? No.
That won't save shit for them, to be honest with you. I don't think that. Look, I didn't drink that whole beer. Surprise. But it's what?
That was right in my ear.
Oh, my bad.
It's
fun because I mean, I can't get mad at the situations that we have for the Cowboys, but right now, just sitting at what they're doing. I heard this conversation of Sean and RJ yesterday morning. Yesterday morning. And Sean from the morning show said that he thinks he said out of the was it the Rangers? It was the Rangers and the Cowboys. He said who has the better chance of making it back to their championship series? And he said the Cowboys. And I was like, are you high? Did you take methamphetamines before your morning show? There's not a Am I the most honest Cowboy fan you'll ever meet?
Yes.
When you came over and watched the Green Bay game, I told you that game was over in the second quarter, did I not?
Yes.
And was it over by the second quarter?
All intents and purposes, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I knew that there was no way for that team to come back.
No.
That team isn't.
They have to play from ahead.
In my opinion, that team with that leadership that they have, to me, is not mature enough to play from behind.
No.
I think they have people on that team that can play from behind, but with the leadership that that team has, they can't play from behind. And you have 3 teams right now in the DFW area that, barring injuries right now for the Rangers, I think that's a totally different season. But their pitching staff has just been kicked square in the dick.
They haven't won a game in, 2 weeks?
Yeah. It's bad. But the starting pitching that has filled in has been great. But we can't score runs. And
Which
that's
is
not
weird.
And that's not on the starting pitching that isn't there because they're injured. That's on the hitting. But yesterday's game, I didn't get to watch today's game because I was at work, but last night's game, the errors that we made were embarrassing. And I don't know if you saw any of them. There was one that potentially could have been a double play that I don't know what the miscommunication was between Corey and Marcus, but Corey went to flip to Marcus at second base, and Marcus Semien was down like this. Don't know why. Don't know what's going on. And then they picked off Brandon Marsh on a steal, and Dane Dunning just threw the ball into the ground, basically. And Semien had no shot at getting it. And so, like right now, the feeling is when it rains, it pours. And right now it's pouring.
Yeah.
And it's getting ankle deep right now. And you don't want it to get knee deep, because if it gets knee deep, you're in some deep shit. And then you're basically making every person that doubted you last season and that said that this World Series win was kind of a fluke, you're proving them right. And you're giving them grain.
Yeah.
Like, you're giving them something to stand on, because and you can attest to this. There are certain people in each sport, basketball, hockey, baseball, football, they hate that collective team. Bless you. He can't hear me, so that's fine. Bless you, by the way.
Yeah, allergies.
But there are certain people in each sport that hate that collective team. And it's adamant, and it's fun for us, because when we prove them wrong as DFW sports fans, it's fun.
Right.
But
when you're on the receiving end of it, it sucks.
But on the receiving end of it, you're like, oh yeah, you're right. Okay, shut up. But like for you, like, your main team is the Packers.
Yeah. And
you listen to Packers radio and you chime in. So I'm going to ask you, because I've been long-winded and I need a drink. What have you heard about your Packers this offseason?
Honestly, I haven't been paying attention. I know I've been dealing with other stuff, and I haven't been listening to Odyssey or anything. I've been just, it's not, I will pay more attention once OTAs. I know that Jordan Love showed up, and he's in a contract year. So that's what they're worried about. Their running back they just drafted got hurt already.
Who's that?
What's his name? I don't know. I'm bad with names.
Don't even know. Well, I'll be dead ass honest. I couldn't tell you who the Cowboys drafted this year either.
No.
And that's to no fault of my own. But I will say funny because I have not been paying much attention to the Cowboys. I have been adamant this season of how disappointing that this offseason has been, that I'm going to watch this team.
Josh Jacobs, Zach Tom, and Tucker Kraft did not practice, while Christian Watson, Eric Stokes are showing their speed. So that's who got hurt.
Okay. Well, and like I said, like I've been adamant about, and I've said it on this show multiple times. Right now with this team, I am just like I'm kicked in the teeth, and I'm disappointed. And it is what it is. I'm not going like I said, I'm not going to put a lot in there. I think that I told the guy at work this last week. I think 9-8 at best.
I always say they're going to go 500, but you can't go 500 anymore. I could see 8-9, 9-8, that area. The Packers, to me, though, they showed a lot, especially the second half of the season last year.
Right.
I think it'll be disappointing if they don't go at least, I don't know, 10-7. If they don't get at least 10 wins, I think it'll be disappointing. Everybody's saying that the Bears are going to be tougher now because they got the new gay quarterback. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that he'll have some kind of pink shit on, and not be breast cancer awareness night.
He'll probably have his fingernails painted and come out and curtsy after he scores a touchdown.
I'm sure. A little freaking tutu and all kinds of shit that he likes to wear.
No, and there was some things that, like Sean said on the show the other day, and I was just like, how much money has Jerry been giving you? Because, brother, he said, and I looked at the time. I had to. At 8:37 in the morning, he said he thinks that the Cowboys can beat the Texans.
What is he smoking?
I said, no.
The Texans are built to win, and they're if the Texans don't make it to at least the divisional round, if not the AFC Championship this year, yeah,
I will be really surprised.
It'll be a travesty if they don't.
And I personally think if they don't, there's an underlying factor. And when I say
injuries or something,
injuries, suspensions, something. There's that, to me, if that team is 100% healthy the entire NFL season, there's no way that to me, they're the AFC standout right now.
Absolutely.
I don't see another team besides the Chiefs that is going to be an AFC standout. And you could say, people say, oh, the Chiefs, oh, the Bills, oh, the Bengals.
Bills aren't going to do shit. They lost Stephon.
Stephon's on the Texans.
There you go. Right.
So
exactly.
What are the Bills going to do? Who's Josh Allen going to sit there and throw it to Gabe Davis for fucking 30 times?
Throw it to himself, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
know who they have as running back. Joe Burrow is a huge question mark.
And one team that I will say that I think is a sleeper is the Ravens. The Ravens are always good, but I think they're going to be better. And I really think, truth be told, in my opinion, the fact that the Dallas Cowboys did not reach out and say something to Derrick Henry still boggles my mind. And the fact that he signed with the Ravens makes me think.
They play him week 2, don't they?
Huh?
They play him week 2, don't they?
Yeah. Makes me feel that I think that the Ravens are going to come to Dallas and kick the Cowboys in the teeth.
Yeah. Who do they open the season with?
and they're to make Cleveland.
That's right. God. So
Which that could be a fun game.
Two AFC. I mean, they're good. They were good.
Cleveland's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, they're beatable, but they're good, or they were.
Right.
I don't know if
But-
Deshaun Watson's going to be playing, but
I don't. Yeah, that one I don't know. So we're getting down to the last. I mean, we try to keep these around an hour for anybody that's just not joining us. So we're getting down to the last, time towards the end. We touched on it a little bit. Give me your race predictions this weekend, starting with the Daytona 500. And when I ask you this, or not Daytona 500, the Indy 500, when I ask you this, I'm not asking for your winner, but tell me where you think Kyle Larson will finish.
16th or worse.
Really?
I think he'll crash.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I personally am calling top 10.
That'd be great. I mean, I would love to see him win, but we haven't seen him in a pack. We haven't seen him. I mean, he's just done basically solo runs his entire time. I want to see what he looks like in the pack and with cars and air on him and all that.
Yeah.
What about Monaco for you?
Look, it's F1. You can't ever count out Max Verstappen, but it's all going to depend on qualifying, which is tomorrow. No, Saturday morning.
Saturday.
Yeah. So Saturday morning we'll see qualifying. We'll see, who's fast. Obviously, if you know anything about F1, Max is always fast. If there was a steroid for a car, he's probably put it in there because the guy has been fast for the last 2 years.
Every now and again, he gives it to Sergio.
Yeah. Or he slips up and, somebody wins, or he has a takeoff in the car. But I think it plays out. I think it plays out for, sorry, I got something in my damn eye. Qualifying, and we'll see after qualifying. We'll see, who's quick, see who's up there. I think it'll be fun. Monaco's always a fun race. Hell, I think one year Jerry Jones was there.
So for me, if you want my opinion,
I do, because I need a drink.
I think it's high time that the power of the Aston Martin shows up. Fernando Alonso shows out.
Fernando Alonso.
And finally takes a Monaco GP.
I would
love to see that happen.
I would love to see somebody else win, because you don't see it that often.
A lot of people don't know this about me, that whatever reason, I love Astons. I've always loved Astons. I don't know if it's a James Bond thing or what, but I've always been an Aston Martin fan. Everybody wants the Lambo and the Ferrari. No. And it might be the British, the I don't know, 45% British that I am. I want an Aston, and I love Astons.
Truth be told, he used to have a crush on a man named Ashton.
That's Ashton, not Aston.
Well,
leave him out of here. Leave him out of the
conversation. I was trying to make a joke. Sorry.
Yeah, you failed.
I failed miserably. Yeah.
What about the Coke 600?
I'm out. No, I'm kidding.
That's why I gave a little pause there.
Oh, yeah, I quit buying Coca-Colas a long time ago. So I'm out of Coke. But I think you look at qualifying again, but
Well, who's been fastest in the last
If I
15
had
weeks?
a fan that I want to see win, what?
I said, who's been fastest over the last 15 weeks?
Oh, because all I heard was who's been fastest, and then I look over and you're drinking your coffee, and I was like, who's been fastest win? Where? What the hell are you talking about? So it must have cut out. You know, I if I was gonna put money on somebody, which in NASCAR it's so hard to put money on anybody. But if I was gonna put money on somebody that is due, that has had speed, but has caught some bad breaks, I'm gonna go with that Prosper boy that drives the 17, Mr. Chris Buescher. We didn't even talk about that. Damn it. I mean, we don't have to cut it off. I don't care. As long as when does StreamYard cut us off?
They don't.
Oh, they don't?
No.
I thought when you didn't pay for it, you had to
No, it just doesn't. It doesn't save it. So I cannot make this into audio.
Well, that sucks, but who cares?
Nobody listens anyway.
Nobody listens anyway.
So,
but no, I would love to see Chris Buescher getting a win this weekend.
Buescher getting a win would be cool.
And he's been fast the last couple weeks. Actually, it's been
Ford
a
has
couple
been
weeks.
fast.
Yeah, Ford in general has been fast. We had Kez's first win in almost 100 races or whatever it was.
120, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100 something
like
races.
Over 3 years.
Yeah. So Fords have been fast. Ross got the win at the All-Star race, which
Joey
got the win at the All-Star race. Ross won the
nothing.
No, Ross won something.
Ross hasn't won once this year.
In the Xfinity.
Oh, the truck race.
Yeah, he won the truck race.
No, he didn't win the truck race. He won the truck race at Darlington.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think Ross. Oh, good Lord, these things make my ears hot. I think Ross is due too, but I think Buescher is the guy that I think right now has speed. Their team's clicking. You got a lot of eyes on that RFK team now with, Kez getting his win, the
closest finish
in NASCAR history. So you got a lot of eyes on that RFK team now, fans and son of a bitch.
That was a squirrel moment. I'm guessing Edmonton scored.
Fuck yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good pick. I'm not gonna say this. That's not a bad pick. That's a really good pick. I'm going for a Toyota driver.
Of course you are.
It's not Denny. Damn, that sounds loud.
It's like you got
it's Ty. I'm going to go for Ty Gibbs. Yeah, I think this will be the race that I think Ty can actually, if he could put it all together. It's a long ass race. If he can calm down and actually put a whole race together, I think this will be it. I think he'll get the win. Toyota's been fast on mile and a halves. The kid can drive, whether you love him or hate him. I'm not. I hate to say I hate the kid, but his dad died right after he won the damn Xfinity Championship a couple years ago. Like the day after,
right?
The night of. So I can't say I hate the kid. I think he's very affluent, and he's had the money for the training and everything, but yet he can still drive a race car. So I'm gonna go with Ty Gibbs. All right, so let's talk about this. Have you heard? Well, I've been sending you stuff back and forth about Stewart Haas. Do you see them going away next year?
It's a possibility.
That'd be sad. I think that's pretty bad.
And I mean, I love the guy to death. He was my favorite driver for many years, but Kevin's outside opinions of Stewart Haas have not helped.
No. And I knew once Tony started TSR, Tony Stewart Racing, it was going to be a matter of time.
Yeah.
Because his new flavor of the week, Leah Pruitt, drag racing. And I'm not saying Leah is his flavor of the week. They're trying to have a kid.
She's his flavor of life.
Yeah,
'Cause
and I don't blame him.
they're But
You froze, but yeah.
no, I mean, I very, very well think it's possible.
So where will those charters go? There's 4 of them, and where will the drivers go and the teams? And I think
I mean, do I think Stewart Haas Racing goes away? Yes, because I think Tony Stewart gets out of it. But do I feel like that there is a possibility of somebody else throwing their name in the hat and putting money into those cars? Yes, I do.
see, I think the whole charter system's got things jacked up. Um, they're selling for roughly about 20 to 30 million right now
Right.
each. And that's each car. I think RFK picks one up. I think 2311 gets one. The other two, I don't know. I think maybe Trackhouse has wanted one, but I think Dale Jr. buys into Doherty because Chad just Schechter, the JT part of it,
Mhm.
is leaving apparently. And I think Dale Jr. is going to buy into Brad Doherty's team, the 47 car, and they're going to buy another charter.
I mean, at this point right now, anything is possible. I mean, the moving that we've already seen in NASCAR that's going to happen next year, I mean, it's already kind of popped off. I mean, you've got guys that have already announced that they're leaving their teams and going to another team next season.
Michael McDowell going to Spire.
Right. So
that's booting Zane Smith out.
Right. And so I do think I mean, right now, when we're just barely midway through the season, I think anything is possible. But do I think that Stewart Haas Racing is in trouble? Absolutely.
Where would Noah wind up? That's kind of like my.
I think Noah can. Personally, I think Noah ends up at RFK. If Stewart Haas goes away, I think Noah ends up at RFK and he's driving the Ford still.
See, I think he was going to go to the 34. Go to McDowell's ride.
I mean, I don't. It's possible. I mean, like I said,
that's
anything's possible. Ride. But I just think that I think Noah's a good driver. I think just Noah needs a good team.
And I think that the front row car, I mean, the 34 for front row would be really good. It's fast. It's a proven winner.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not, but I feel like I think now that he's in a Ford and he's with Ford, I think that he kind of likes that aspect. And I think that there's a lot of, how do I say this without trying to sound stupid, but I think there's a lot of outside values that son of a bitch.
I'm guessing Edmonton scored again. I don't have True TV, so I can't watch it.
We are not good at game ones. I think that there's a lot of outside values that Noah has that align with some of the values of RFK.
I agree. Yeah.
And
he brings money with Bass Pro.
And I think that he fits in with that team.
Gritty.
Gritty, kind of don't put up with no shit.
Yeah. I'd love to see him in the 60 car.
Don't care if he bucks the system, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he just can't post shit on Twitter.
Right. Yeah, you can't like a George Floyd meme or something.
Yeah.
So
that's very frowned upon in the world of NASCAR.
Oh yeah. But one thing we haven't touched on, and if you'll indulge me for about 30 seconds, I am going to get a refreshment. So talk to the people, Christopher.
What do you want me to talk to them about? I don't know what to talk about. I'm not used to being here alone. It's weird. So, anyway, as we were talking, NASCAR and all that kind of stuff, having my own NASCAR related podcast for a few years, I'm pretty well versed in it. Brian, or the other people that's in here, feel free to ask some questions. They do more than just turn left. They turn right every now and then, about 7 times a year. And you transmit that. You know what, Brian? That can go for so many cars now, not just one. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. And that's why like your podcast, Brian, is so uh cool, and you do such a great job with it, is that you are by yourself, and it's hard to do a solo podcast. It really is. You have to come up with your own ideas. You don't have anybody to really bounce stuff off with. So you do a great job, Brian, and I appreciate it. Feel better?
No. So, initial opinions on the fines. What do you think?
Oh, for Recky Spinhouse? All right. So, for people that don't know,
Okay, get his name right. It's Ricky Spinhouse or Recky Stenhouse. He can't be both.
it is both. It's Recky Spinhouse.
No.
Yes, it is.
sounds better when you use part of his real name.
It's
like
Recky Spinhouse.
We never called you Clunky Barnaby. We called you Chris Barnaby.
Because I never had Clunky in my name.
Well, you're always been clunky. We just never called you that.
Well, I was in the closet once too, Brian. It's okay. I'm glad you came out of it.
$75,000.
So Ricky Stenhouse, man, you know how hard it is for me to say it right?
Just say Spinhouse.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was wrecked on lap 2 by Kyle Busch. Because Kyle Busch, it was a dick move by Kyle, because Kyle felt like he got put into the wall by the 47 car. So Ricky has to wait in the infield because there's no tunnel, no way to get across the track. You're locked in there. He had to wait 198 laps.
Let's go. Let's go.
To confront Kyle.
Let's go, baby.
Score stars. So Ricky's standing outside the hauler as Kyle is getting out of his car. He walks over to his hauler. They ask some words. Hey, you wrecked me. What the hell? You put me in the fence. And no. Look at the replay. I didn't touch you. And then Ricky sucker punches Kyle and grazes his jaw. And
he got a good little lick in there. I ain't gonna lie. He got a good little lick.
Yeah, it was. It was okay.
It wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as Ross's, but he got a good lick in there.
Ross on Noah. Noah had a black eye for a couple of weeks.
I personally don't think there's ever gonna. I may have to go back and look at some NASCAR fights, but Ross's may be one of the best connections I've seen in a long time.
It's almost, you could hear that one.
Yeah, because there was nobody around, and Ross just straight squared back and was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So yeah,
I agree with a monetary fine for that, because you don't want people stewing over it. I would rather the heat of the moment kind of tussle and fight. That's why NASCAR basically said that he got fined. And it's very consistent. Matt Crafton did the same thing last year to Nick Sanchez. He was wrecked early, stayed, and flat out sucker punched Nick Sanchez, busted him open. Like, he came out of nowhere and just knocked the shit out of the kid. And he got fined $25,000.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money for a truck series driver. And Ricky got fined $75,000 for doing the same thing, which is very consistent, and I agree with. I just don't think that $75,000 is the right amount.
Want to pause real quick and just give a shout out to Oscar if you're still in here. Oscar shared our podcast link on Twitter to his followers and said, y'all check out my buddy Russ and Chris on the Empty Slate podcast. Loving it. and shared our YouTube link. So appreciate that, Oscar. Really
That's
do.
awesome. I appreciate it, Oscar. And yes, Brian, I did record in my closet with women's clothing, just not on. Like I said, I stepped out.
I used to record in early years of the Loud and Opinion. I used to record in the bathroom.
That's why I was so
and-
echoey.
Yeah. But eventually somebody said, well, why don't you just go sit in the closet? And I was like, well, I've been out of the closet for a couple of years. I don't want to go back.
Yeah. Every now and then, trip back in the closet's not a bad thing.
But no, so we text about it. You unfortunately had to go to work the next morning at the dawning of ages at 3 a.m. And so you had to tuck your pretty little head on the pillow. So we texted about it for a little bit, and then you went to bed, and I kind of watched a little bit of the post-race stuff, and then I kind of tuned out, and I wanted to see who went where and who said what. Personally, I'm going to say this. Every replay that I've watched, and I'll let you can give your opinion on the situation, because that's what I would like to do, is I'll give mine and then you give yours of what you saw. What I saw, Ricky went through the middle, saw an opportunity, shot the gap, boom, went through, saw it, never touched Kyle.
No.
Kyle went up, he got the fence, never touched Kyle. Kyle got butthurt, and that's all that was. And once he got butthurt, he got in his feelings and he became a little bitch because he hasn't won a race in a while. And he even said it himself after the little incident. I suck too. I don't care if you put me in the wall. Kyle and a buddy of mine, Krill, who I wish was more active, but he's, dead to rights like I am with this Stars game. We both agreed. I like certain aspects about Kyle Busch, but in general, Kyle Busch is a little bitch. And that, to me, made him look like even more of a little bitch.
I can see that, yeah.
It came off to me as a tit. I mean, just clear as day, you titty baby. Like, you did not get rubbed. You did not get done wrong. Ricky
Go ahead.
Ricky saw an opportunity, shot the gap, boom, went through it. Kyle said, you put me in the wall. I'm going to turn you. And
I don't think he meant to wreck him.
Okay, and that's what I was about to say. There's a small part of me that I feel like Kyle didn't mean to wreck him that much. I think he meant to fuck with him, but I don't think that he meant to put him out of the race where he was not returned. I don't think that was his intention at all.
He even said that. He said in an interview on the Kenny Wallace show, he's like, yeah, I went in there to get his attention and get him loose. I didn't mean for him to hit the wall and wreck out. I felt bad, and I was just about to, apologize for that, and then got hit.
Well, I don't believe that shit at all.
You can see the body language. You can see, because he's like, well, all right.
I don't believe that shit at all, because if that's the case and Ricky is standing at my holler like a bully waiting on me to get my lunch money, the first words out of my mouth are going to be just like what happened when Busher ran up on old Reddick. Reddick folded like a deck of cards.
Yeah. That's not Kyle, though.
He got shoved, and Reddick was like, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I messed up. Regardless if that's not your personality, don't come out
with a shit-eating grin and the Kyle.
Don't come out the next day and go into somebody's podcast and say, well, I was going to apologize, but no, bullshit. You weren't going to apologize. I'm
You
sorry.
could kind
You
of see
weren't-
it there right before he got hit. He was starting to turn the corner, but he had the Kyle Busch shit-eating grin on his face.
Well,
That's what pissed
but
Stenhouse
he
off.
never, no bullshit, Chris.
That's
Bullshit.
what
He
Stenhouse even
never-
said it in an interview.
He never do anything. He kept saying, "You wrecked me. You pushed me into the wall." And Ricky was adamant. Go back and watch the replay.
And Kyle
He
goes,
never.
hey, watch it again. Kyle goes, well, okay. And then right when he says, well, all right, something like that.
But in the Kyle Busch
Wow.
way, of, well, okay, and then you're going to give that shit-eating grin you got.
Exactly.
You're
That's
going to
why
get fucking
that's
sucker punch.
exactly.
You deserve the sucker punch.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with a lot of NASCAR drivers that I've seen on Twitter, Daniel Suarez being one of them, coming out and saying, I think this fine is bullshit, because if you're going to find somebody and then NASCAR themselves is going to use it on their Twitter page and in their commercials, that's horseshit.
Yeah.
There is no way in hell that you can justify using a fight that you just found somebody for and then putting it in your commercials, and then no bullshit. I guarantee you, I would bet my life savings, which ain't a lot, but I would bet my life savings that on Sunday, we're going to see a replay of that.
Oh, yeah. Fox is going to have
replay.
it. They're going to have, yes, absolutely.
And that's horseshit.
Yeah, they're making money off of it, and they're finding Stenhouse. I'm with Suarez.
There's no justification for that fine. There's none. Maybe suspensions to people that were involved.
Yeah.
And maybe a sit down talking to with the NASCAR heads of state, whoever the fuck they may be, with Ricky and Kyle. But to fine somebody $75,000 and say what you did was wrong, and then suspend his dad and suspend crew members and not suspend anybody on Kyle's team.
They weren't the aggressors.
Regardless, two wrongs don't make a right.
So the crew members on the 8 team never engaged anybody. They just broke it up. That one dude, he was throwing people off of their hauler.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky's dad got in there and was throwing haymakers at Kyle. And they had
Did
Kyle,
you hear him? I ain't on him. I ain't even got my glasses.
and he was swinging at him.
I know,
That's what was funny.
But
I ain't on him.
I ain't even got my glasses. That's the greatest shit I've ever. Like, I went back and watched that 3 or 4 times after I heard that audio. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And the fact that there are people out there that say that Kyle Busch hit Ricky Stenhouse Sr. good, y'all need to go back and watch that from a couple of different angles, because it looked like he just took his fist and pushed his face. Kyle's fist was on his face, but I don't think he punched him.
I don't think Kyle wanted to. That's the thing. I don't think Kyle really wanted to hurt his dad.
I'm sorry. I got my glasses. Needs to be on a shirt somewhere with Ricky Stenhouse Sr.'s face on it.
Yeah. Somebody needs to make that.
And it really all it needs to say is, I ain't even got my glasses. But was the whole, I mean, look, as NASCAR fans like we are, the thing about it to us is it entertaining? Hell yes. Did it make a pretty boring all-star race entertaining at the end? Absolutely.
Nobody's even talking about the winner.
Did Mike Joy just give the most lackluster, and Joey Logano? Like, I mean, like, I get it. Like,
can somebody just put him out to pasture? I'm sorry. I love Mike Joy to death, but.
Oh, I love Mike Joy, and I won't ever say anything bad about Mike Joy. I don't think he's done.
I think he's done.
I don't think he's done. I think that, truth be told, and we've said this all season, and we said it towards the end of last season, the production crew for Fox needs to change.
It does, but hear me out, and I'll make it quick because we're running kind of long and we got bedtime coming.
You gotta go to bed?
No, wifey. She's got to go to work in the morning.
So do I.
So I think Mike Joy
Thanks,
might
sir.
be
Thank you.
out. I think Mike Joy's going to be out after this season. I think Rick Allen's coming in because he's out at NBC.
Rick Allen is very good.
Yeah, I think Rick Allen's going to come into Fox. I think Lee Diffie is going to do a great job for NBC. He's the one that does the IndyCar races.
Oh, okay.
And he's coming in. You'll see him this summer. And I think we're going to get Alan Bestwick for the Amazon TNT races.
So Bestwick, Dale, and somebody else?
Yeah. I think it might be Petty.
Kyle?
Yeah.
I can see that. I like that. I mean, it's not too over the top and too high pitched that won't blow your ears out, but
right.
When you put Kyle Petty, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and
Jeff Burton
in the same booth, dogs start screaming in Mexico.
Right. I think it's a travesty. I think it's sad that Jeff Burton didn't get in the Hall of Fame again.
Yeah, I do think that's a kick in the teeth.
I think he deserves it more than Carl Edwards.
I think he deserves it more than Carl Edwards. I'm glad Ricky Rudd got it.
I think honestly it should have been Harry Gant and Ricky Rudd.
Yeah.
And then next year Jeff and Carl.
I'm very glad that Ricky Rudd got it. I think that was great for him. If you are any kind of a NASCAR fan from growing up, you'll always remember the Tide car.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a awesome.
I can't tell you what number it was, but I remember the Tide car. I think it was like 31.
There's a part of me that wants to say 31, but there was also a part of me that wants to say like it was lower in the teens, but I may be wrong.
Waltrip had a Tide car.
He did.
And I think, didn't Ricky Rudd have the Folgers car, or was that somebody else?
I don't know. Maybe that's something we can discuss off air, maybe during text, and to put another show together that maybe some people will turn into. We're back up to 4 on our channel. And I don't know who you 4 people are. It's probably Brian. One of them's probably me. And maybe it's Oscar and maybe it's somebody else. Chime into the YouTube and just say who you are and appreciate you showing up. You showed up a little late. We ran long tonight, which is good because it's kept us entertained and we've had a lot to talk about. I have been very long-winded. And Chris has been short-winded and I've interrupted him, and that's just part of our show because sometimes I don't know when to shut the hell up. But
just read Brian's little deal here.
For Twitter followers, this show is like Seinfeld. I don't know.
Told you it is one of the greatest shows in all of television.
For the people that are right now watching, the other 2 that I don't know, I've never watched 3 episodes of Seinfeld. He said, I like that. Oscar said, still here. I'll be back. Drink more. Yes, sir. Stars are only in the second period. We got a long night ahead of us. It is 2-1. But with that being said, you want to close it or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
This has been a fun show. We have new people here. We've gained some listeners, which I love, and I know Chris loves, because truly we get Brian and he chimes in and he cuts up with us, and we love Brian for that. And make sure you check out his show. If you're an MMA fan and you have any kind of interest in Peanuts comics, and Brian has a pretty solid knowledge on that one, check out Brian. He puts out a show every Saturday. The YFB, your favorite blockhead. You can find him on Twitter or Facebook and Spotify. All those
your podcasting platforms. You can find it. He is, I want to say, probably one of the top 10 podcasts that I listen to weekly. So he definitely puts on a good product.
But Oscar, Brian, and whoever the third person is, because I know I'm one of them, thank y'all for tuning in. We try to go live probably more. We try about once a week, but more than enough. It's every 2 weeks. And we try to, a lot of times we like to let, we want to let our conversations build up and let some cool shit happen.
Yeah.
Because it gives us more
Sometimes
to
you
talk
got to
about.
sit back. Yeah. You got to sit back and watch and see how the world unfolds as you're picking your nose. You're froze.
Exactly. And well, no, I had an itch. And a lot of the times you get ADD Russell, but especially during a Stars playoff game, you're going to get a hardcore ADD Russell. So that is and also an added bonus. But we thank you. We appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. You can follow
Share,
us on
like,
our
and subscribe.
share, like, and subscribe. You can follow us on our Facebook page. We don't actually have a follow. You can just add us as friends. And
ding the notification bell so that way you'll know every time that we go live on YouTube.
what does one of my favorite little gamers say? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to tell somebody you love them. Tim Tapman. Shout out, buddy. Chris, close it out, buddy, because I have cotton mouth.
Well, like you said, we do appreciate you all showing up and conversating with us on here. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
I stole my damn line.